Hawa said to me, "Go yet love a woman, beloved of her friend and an adulteress, even as Hawa loves the children of Israel, though they turn to other gods and love cakes of raisins. So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver and a homer of barley and a half homer of barley. And I said unto her, Thou shalt sit solitary for me many days. Thou shalt not play the harlot. You ain't gonna be no hoe no more, Israel. You ain't gonna be no hoe no more. Thou shalt not play the harlot. Going after other powers, being an adulteress, a woman beloved of her friend and an adulteress. Thou shalt not play the harlot, and thou shalt not be any man's wife, nor will I be thine. For the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king, without a prince, without sacrifice, pillar, ephod, teraphim. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek Hawa, their creator, and David, their king, and shall come trembling into Hawa, into his goodness in the end of days. My Naga, the end of days. They keep saying this is the end. In the end of days, which is the beginning. We on the war path, Israel. We on the war path. Who is Prester John? You know, when we started this series, you know, we had a real unbiasedness, you know, when it came to seeking the priest king. You know, we said this information's, you know, coming out. I don't even remember exactly how we even started searching, man. I really got to do the recon myself to, you know, find that spark, man. Just like the dragons, you know, these dragonflies popped it off. I don't even remember what popped off the Prester John original investigation, man. But let me just tell you, man, I'm going to say it like this. Drop Nation popped it off, you know what I mean? Allow Hawa, Drop Nation popped this off. This is installment number 52 of our Prester John investigation. And we've been putting this out for years, and we're going to bring it on home all the way to 60, straight up. We're going to do 52 through 60, man. So I hope you caught up. You know, the drop is still out there. Go get it, you know what I mean? And we got a whole playlist. You know, I'll put the link below to the playlist so you can catch up to anything. Other than that, fall back, man. You know what I mean? This type of investigation is something that you can just really belly flop in and find a home and a place to start investigating. Again, there's no other script anywhere in our Tanakh that tells us that we're going to wake up, seek Hawa, our creator, and anybody else but David. And then we can keep going over the scriptures in Ezekiel 37 and Ezekiel 34, one shepherd, one shepherd. We can keep going over Jeremiah 30, whom I will raise up for you. David, King David will be raised up again. Over and over again, we keep talking about this immortal priest king, the last noble image of the Naga, the Negro right here in America. And they keep pointing you right here, man. So let's go, man. Because we got things to do. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's pop it off, man. For the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice. But afterwards, my Naga, you going to wake up. The children going to return. The children of Israel, Yashurah, you going to return. The seeds, the righteous ones of the Creator, you're going to return and seek Hawa and Dawu. Who is Prester John? Who is Priest King? Well, if you know anything about this investigation, you have an understanding that the priest and the king is a title, that was passed on, passed on, passed on. But the one that popped it off, man, the one that was the anointed, what I'm saying? The Christ, if you will, the anointed, is this King David. This David who in Psalms 18, our Creator hears David, and his throne, he hears David and comes down, man, with that fire, right? So, when you hear about a pure water connection, when you read about having, no hijack allowed, when we talk about, those that have fought and died to have no hijack allowed, man. As long as 100 of us left, we would never fall under English rule. We would never be hijacked. Man, the Hakan told us that. Scottish Arbor Row. I mean, we just talking about the Anasazi. You will return, children of Israel, seek the Creator and King David. Priest forever. See, there's an order to this earth. And the earth is our turf. There's an order to this earth. All right, where y'all want to start? Let's go right into the she. Let's go right into the she. Because we're on a warpath. And we want to know what war went down. Where did the Almec go? Where did the Almec go? Who's the Almec? My Naga? Who's the she? The Almec were the first civilizations. Pull up all the links. You gonna need them. We about to do a nice, beautiful wave surf, man. Prester John 52 is popping way off. We got a lot to talk about in this investigation. So pull up them links. Lego, man. Let me make sure we good. A1 like the sauce. Okay. Let go. Wow. Let me get my water. This is gonna be good, y'all. This is gonna be oh so good. If you didn't ever know about Prester John, this is a great place to belly flop. Let go. Let go. We on a warpath, man. The price is going up. Who are the she? When I say she, I'm talking X-I, right? X-I or X-I-A, she or Shia. Who are the Shia? Who are the she? The Olmec were the first civilization in the Americas. Not the first people, the first civilization in the Americas. When they arrived is not known. So how would you know they're not the first people then? All right, but let's go. But a guess of 8,000 to 4,000 BC should do. All right, recent research suggests that the Olmec had their roots in early farming cultures, Tabasco, which began 5100 BC, all right, to 4600 BC. All right, so you want to get into that? Let's get it from here. Because you're just talking about the Aztec, you're just talking about the Olmec name means rubber people. In Nahuatl, the Aztec language, it was the Aztec name for the people who once lived in this area and extracted latex from rubber trees. Europeans mistakenly assigned the name to ancient ruins that they found there, not realizing that those ruins predated the Aztec and all other civilizations in the Americas. The word Olmec also refers to the rubber balls used for the ancient ball games of the Olmec creation. Remember the Hohokam? Who's the Hohokam? Those who have disappeared, what happened to the Olmecs? Oh, they disappeared. What war were they fighting? Because they look like warriors to me. You know what I'm saying? This looks like, you know what I'm saying, my Uncle Paulie. You know what I'm saying? Literally, this looks like my Uncle Paul. You know what I mean? Rest in power. I mean, this is the Naga. This is the Negro. This is you. And we're going to prove it, man. We're gonna put it all out. Because, see, the beauty of the Prester John flow is that it combines everything. It makes you look at chronology with a different perspective. It makes you, you know what I'm saying, reverse the maps. It makes you look for those, you know, mythological foundations, or really the foundational legends behind things like the San Banyan River and the Fountain of Youth, which connects directly to the greatest myth of all, even greater than Atlantis, my noggin, Prester John. But watch this, though, because this is going to be beautiful. Popping off Prester John 52. Pay attention. Yeah, get in the classroom, fall back. We on the warpath. So we got these rubber balls, all right? The Olmec called themselves the She, right? X-I. She. The same name that they used when they were in China, my naga. Now watch this. Remember, they were in China, right? You already know what China really looked like. You know what the Black Buddha looked like. You know that ancient China is Kana. And who's the Khan? Who's the Amaru Khan? Who's the Khan? This is just Khan. Kana. Kana. So they called themselves the She, X-I. Of course, you know, we got these colossal heads, they said, and look at this brother. Very high tech, I tell you. They're digging you all the way up. Now you're in Mexico, right? Situ, Mexico. And you know, they got all these wooden joints you can look into. They're connecting it with Egypt. Well, Egypt is in America too. Yeah. When evidence of the Olmec was first discovered in 1863, scientists at first didn't know what to make of them. The question were, where did they come from? They say the same thing about you. And how did they get here? They say the same thing about you. My noggin. They say the same thing about you. The American, right? It was first thought that the Olmec were West Africans who had crossed in boats, but now there's mounting evidence that the Olmec were remnants of the Z or Shi dynasty of China. Where's China? Who probably came across the Bering Straits in the Americas. All right. Or China is in America. North America, South America. India superior. La China. Cateo, Cate. Katai, Kara, Katai, Kara, Katai. Tangu. Okay. We'll come back to that. Remember, North America, South America, Mexico, right? La China. Let's go. This is going to be good. But now there's mounting evidence that the Olmec were remnants of the Shi dynasty of China, who probably had come across the Bering Straits, or La China is already here. Just like Cathay, Kate, or Katai, we're talking Prester John, and the Kara, Katai. Cathay, Katai means a pure land. The people of a pure land, man. The people of a land of whiteness, right? Like the Aztlan, the Aztec, Aztlan. Love to teach me to be priestly. Peace to you, bro. You know, the whiteness means the righteousness, right? The real definition of white, the purity, the pure, the pure land, the whiteness, a place of whiteness is a place of purity, or a kate or a katai. So the kara literally meant black, and in Turkic, kara means black. So Prester John is leading the Kara Katai Mongols, which means great ones. So we'll get all this again, but Mongol means great ones. We got all this out that $999 book, The Medieval, Empire, the Israelites. I hope all y'all got it. That hit me up, because I sure did email a lot of people and drop that link, man. So hopefully y'all digging it. And that $1,000 book, man, is literally telling us that, this Mongol, literally connects to this great one, or the great ones. Mongol means the great ones, the great ones. So the Israelites are the Mongols, the great ones are the Russians. The Mongols are the Rus are the clan Ross, the Rus, all these are kindred to the kings and the regals, of Jerusalem. All right. So we're talking the regal Negro, right? So we catching up, we flowing. It's all good. Just know we're talking China right here in North America. Let's go. So when they say that they're remnants from China, right, we know they're stating the obvious, that these are Amaru Khans, that they're indigenous to the Americas. But we're just talking the what? Xi Dynasty, XIA. Look at it closely. XIA. Let's go. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Western Xi, right? Let's talk about the Xi Dynasty, right? Let's talk about what they would consider the Mongols, because these Mongols are the great ones. It wasn't derogatory. It literally meant the great ones. And right now, we're just talking the Xi Dynasty. Xi Dynasty. The Western Xi, or the XI or XIA Xi, also known to the Mongols as the Tangu. Also known as the Tangu. So the Xi are the Tangu. Let's put this, Drop Nation, we've been patiently waiting. So this is what a Tangu look like. This is what the Xi look like, right? Because the Western Xi are also known as the Tangu Empire, and the Tangu people themselves, and to the Tibetans as the Minyak, and was the empire which existed from 1038 to 1227. Pay attention to the dates. When was the Prester John letter? 1165. When was the war with Prester John and Genghis Khan? 1202, 1203, they say. That's when Genghis Khan took the title Khan. He took the title David. Now you got a Genghis Khan calling himself King David after that. So any King Davids in India around the 1220s was all Genghis Khan. But look at the timing, right? So who took down the Tangu, right? Who took down the Xi? Who took down the Shia, or the Shi? Almost like Shem, right? Shias, Shi, almost like Shem, right? But now there's mounting evidence that the Olmec, or remnants of the Shi, not Africans, but from the Shi, from Tangu. Where's Tangu? Where's Tangu? Do y'all remember what Tangu is? Tangu. Tangut. Meditate on this, my noggin, because we on the warpath. Yeah, man. Oh, we on your ass, Prester John. We on your ass, Prester John. We right there here for you. We right there here for you. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Tangu is in India Superior. India Superior is North America. Tangu is North America. And you're talking about this situation up here, which, to my eyes would be, either upper in Canada, you know what I'm saying, or Detroit, Michigan, something like that. But I think we're pushing, this is Florida, I think we're pushing into Canada. Remember, Canada is what? Canada is what? Canada, right? So the Khans are in Canada. The Khans, the immoral Khans are in Canada. The Khans or the Shi Dynasty, right? The Shi people, the Shi, the Tangu, because the Shi are the Tangu. You dig? Where's Tangu? Right here with me and you. Let's go. Western Shi, also known to the Mongols as the Tangu Empire, Tangu people, empire which existed 1038 to 1227 in what are now in western or northwestern Chinese provinces. All right, so let's try to put it now, right? They are what are now the northwestern Chinese provinces of Ningxia, Gansu, Qinghai, all that. That's what it is now, right? But what was Tangu? Where was Tangu? Because you can't get this messed up. I mean, you can't tell me this is on the other side of the earth plane when we're staring at it right here over South America, right? It's directly over South America, right? So we can't get this fucked up, all right? I mean, this is India Superior, right? North America, right? So this would be the superior Asia. This would be the superior India, the superior Africa. You know what I'm saying? This would be the superior earth turf, man. Which is why Cathay is here. Which is why China's here. The Florida, which they're looking for the fountain of youth in. Mexico, which is Meshiocan, Moshe. And the whole earth was once named after Moshe. That's what Josephus said. We gonna get it. But let's go. Because when we talk about these Shi, their extensive stands among the other empires of Liao, Song, and Jin were attributable to their effective military organizations that integrated cavalry, chariots, archery, shields, artillery, cannons carried on the back of camels, and amphibious troops for combat on land and water. Amphibious troops. Now, could someone tell me what an amphibious troop is, man? You talking about crocodiles, salamanders, or dragons? I mean, that's an interesting code word, amphibious troops, right? But let's go. Check this out. We're going to connect this because if we didn't connect this with the Olmec, didn't connect this with really Solomon the Builder, the Hebrew, the Hohokam, the Anasazi, I mean, we would be lost in the sauce thinking that this is some Chinese tale or some tale from some other land, right? With different people other than the so-called Negro, which is the Shi or the Shem or the Olmec or the Aztec, you dig? The Naga, you dig? We're talking Shi, right? Western Shi, right? The full title of the Western Shi as named by their own state is something like that, whatever that's supposed to be, which translates as the what? Great state of white. Uh-oh. Come on, man. All right, so in case you still was thinking that the she has something to do with China way over there, right? That's still in our history from the Americas, the ancient history. We just talked about a place of whiteness. The Aztecs called their land Aztlan, right? The place of whiteness or purity, the pure land, like Cathay or Katai, right? The black or the copper colored Kara, the copper colored people on the pure land, right? The Shambhala, the Cibola, the Kalelus, promised land, pure land. Can you dig it? The white and lofty. We're talking the Western she. Let's go. Let's go, man. The Olmec called themselves the she. The she. She. Tangu. Tangu. The full title of the Western she translates as the great state of white and lofty. The great state of the white and the lofty. The white is the pure, my naga. You want to look up the definition of white? It's not got nothing to do with so-called white people. All right. It's got nothing to do with so-called white people. We're talking about the definition of white. All right. WHITE. Or called Minja, Ninja, Naja, something like that. The region was known as to the Tangus. The region was known to the Tangus and the Tibetans as Minya. Well, if you're talking Tibet, you must be talking India. If you're talking India, you must be talking India Superior, North America. This is the superior India. This is the superior Ethiopia. This is the superior Asia. Because they're all generic terms for where the Nagas are. This is the superior spot for the Nagas. All right, which is why they found Prester John where? Hold up, we're going to get to that Nestor drop. We're going to get to it. The mythical straits of Ania, like Anan ben David. Developing the idea a little further after the discovery of the mainland of north of the Isthmus, we find that the maker of the MS map illustrated in outline, figure 2, has placed Prester John and his neighbors not very far from Mexico, idolatrous neighbors. Because remember, King David had some idolatrous neighbors, He was fighting Moab, Ammonites, Canaanites, So it's all happening around Prester John. He's keeping Gog and Magog in check. Now it says they praise. Now this map is dated 1530. 1530, and it's in the British Museum. Let's get this bigger, y'all. Let's get this bigger one more time. Let's get it bigger one more time and get it like it's the first time. Because we're on a warpath. Let's get it. Where did they place Prester John in 1530? Where did they place Prester John in 15 mother-sucking 30? Remember, this map is in the British Museum, showing connections between Marco Polo's Asia and the New World, the New Land. 1530, British Museum. America, Cuba, South America, this will be Mexico. You see it right here, Mexico. I know it's blurry, but you got it. Use your imagination, put it together. India Superior, Cathay, Prester, John. Right here, where, Utah, Arizona would be right here, right? Here's the Bering Strait connection. And this is where I think the war went down, or at least where Genghis Khan crossed over. Tangu would be way up here somewhere. So, it just kind of makes the picture come together with the Mongol-Israelite connection. Because again, that book cost $999, Medieval History of the Israelites, telling us that the Mongols, the great ones, are the Israelites. It's the same story. Now you got to look in between the timelines. Oh, Prester John, you're trying to hide in between the timelines on a knock. You got to look in between the timelines. Dodge all the hijack. This is out the British Museum, 1530. Prester John is right here, my Naga. India Superior, Mexico. Let go. We on a warpath, man. We on a warpath. Because we still just talking about the great state of white. And what is this great state of white? This place of whiteness got to do with the Aztecs, warriors from the white land, my Naga. Warriors from the white land, agricultural practices of the Aztecs. So remember, we're putting together the She people, all may call themselves the She, right? They're finding your heads all over America, Mexico, We're putting together the She in real time. The She with the Tangu. Their name translates to the great state of white, this place of whiteness, the great state of white and lofty, the righteous, right? The lofty, the angelic, the dragons, the lofty white. We're just talking about the She, the She. But let's talk Aztec. A tribe of warriors arrived in Mexico perhaps in the mid-12th century. That's the 1100s. They're saying that She existed between 1038 and 1227. Okay. Right. And I'm just saying, it's so obvious to us, but you would think these are just some people in China. Look at these maps. Look what they give us. They're just pointing to another part of the world, Managa. They don't even they're not even talking America, right? So when you look at just history, right, and you're looking at the She, this is where they're pointing you. And here you got the Tangus, right here. And I'm blown away that we can see a whole nother version of history by looking, in between the timelines and see Tangu right here with India Superior. I said India Superior and Prester John right here in the British Museum. In the British Museum, Tangu. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, y'all, what they're giving us these days to work with, They're giving us this to find our way home from here. They're not connecting the She. They're not connecting the She like we're connecting the She. But yet, privately, they know that their culture goes back here, or the culture they're emulating goes back here, just like the so-called Jewish. The culture they're emulating goes back right here, just like the so-called hijack Americans. The titles they're stealing are these same people. The Shi, the Tengu. Full title of the Western Shi, as named by their own state, Great State of White. Warriors from the White Land, Aztec. A tribe of warriors arrived in Mexico, perhaps in the mid-12th century. According to tradition, they traveled from the northwest, a white land, or in their language, Aztlan, from which they derived their name. We just read that the Shi people's name comes from the great state of white. Full title, it's their title, the white, the righteous, Aztlan, white land. There is no separation between these Aztecs or these Olmecs and these Shi. So why are they giving us this? Putting Tengu here with the Shi when these are the Shi and Tengu is here. And what has this got to do with Prester John, you say? What's it got to do with Prester John, you say? Let's keep going. We surfing away because we on the warpath. The price is going up. All right, so I'm gonna leave all these links for you. You can look more into the Tengu language. I mean, this is all stuff that we got to look into. The Tengus are typically regarded by Chinese scholars to be synonymous with, or at least related to, the Kyong or Dongkyong. Hey, that means that these are all niggas, nagas, you know what I'm saying? Israel, if you want to say. I mean, this is a good way to investigate. Because if they're related to them, then I think we're seeing, we're decoding where they're hiding true Israel, you know what I'm saying, in their particular history. Everyone's taking Israel and putting it into their own framework, and then saying that they're from these tribes and all this stuff is Israel. You dig? The name Tengu first appears in the Orkhon inscriptions of 735. We got to dig on these Orkhon inscriptions, man. Also known as Orhan. All right. Kul Telgi Steles, two memorial installations erected by the Turks during or written in Old Turkic alphabet in the early 8th century. That's a whole nother place to dig. Check this out. Tengu society was divided into two classes, the red-faced and the black-headed. The red-faced Tengus were seen as commoners, while the black-headed Tengus made the elite priestly caste. Although Buddhism was extremely popular among the Tengu people, many Tengu herdsmen continued to practice a kind of shamanism known as Root West. The black caps worn by the Root West shamans give the black-headed caste its name. According to Tengu myth, the ancestor of the black-headed Tengus was a heavenly white crane, while the ancestors of the white or the red-faced Tengus was a monkey. Tengu kings went by the title Wu Zu. According to the sources in Tengu language, the Tengu state, known as the Western Shi, was named or translated as the Great State of White and Lofty. All right, another Chinese translation of the name was occasionally used in Tengu sources. The state was most commonly referred to as the Great Shi. Tengu, or the Great Shi state. In later historiography, the modern Chinese, the Tengu state is referred to as the Western Shi, but it's also called the Great Shi or the Superior, right? Let's go, Superior India. The Mongols and other steppe tribes refer to the Tangu kingdom as Kashi or Kashin, which is starting to get to that Katai again. All right. So, there's a lot of good stuff to dig on with the Tangu. Now we know that that's near me and you. And let's take it right here. Mongol conquest of the Shi, right? So again, now we got a picture of the Shi, right? And we already know when we talk Prester John, we ask the question every single time. Did a black man discover the fountain of youth? Because there's no dispute on whether he's a black man. So, Copper Color Khan, you dig? Copper Color Khan, Prester John, there's no disputing that. So we're digging on so-called black history. We're digging on your history, your ancestors, my noggin. And you got to ask the question why they hid this truth from you. You got to ask the question why they hid this truth from us. You know what I mean? And I think we already know. We already know. So we're talking Prester John. But let's go. She. So the Mongol conquest of Western Shi was a series of conflicts between the Mongol Empire and Western Shi. So before we even go into it, this is getting back into the who would be called the Mongols. They are the great ones. But when they put them against a specific hard hit like this, that we know we're talking these Olmecs or these Hebrews or these builders, Solomon the builder, David the builder, then now we know we're talking about another breed of Mongols or another tribe of Mongols, even though they all would be considered the Great One Empire together or Tartars together. But specifically when they talk Tartars, they talking Genghis Khan most of the time. Specifically when they talk Mongols, they're talking Genghis Khan. So let's see how this Genghis Khan war is playing out against the Shi. Now we can see it happening, man. I ask you, what happened to the Shi? Because if they told you this was a Genghis Khan invasion that happened to the Shi, I think you might be looking at this history a little differently. It might start sparking things up about why Genghis Khan went to war against the Shi. Let's go, man. Let's go. This is Prester John 52. We on the war path, man. Let's get it. So the Mongol conquest of the Shi was a series of conflicts between the Mongol Empire and the Western Shi, also known as Tangu, right? Hoping to gain both plunder and a powerful vassal state, Mongol leader Genghis Khan commanded some initial raids against the Western Shi. So Genghis Khan is going to war against the Olmec, which are the tribes of Prester John and then the Davids, the Solomons. And this was the greatest war you've never heard of, my noggin. This was the largest world war you can ever imagine. I'm talking high level technology, high level magic, high level everything. It changed the whole scope of everything. Mongol leader Genghis Khan commanded some initial raids against the Western Shi before launching a full-scale invasion in 1209. And we already got in the previous drops that Genghis Khan went to war and they set up he overtook King David Prester John in 1202, 1203. King David Prester John. This marked both the first major invasion conducted by Genghis in the beginning of the Mongol invasion of China. So they had to take out not just the priest King Prester John, but the Shi, right? The Katai, the Kara, the Caryats. I mean, we're just talking Israel, my noggin. Israel. Let's go. By the time they came here later and did all this, Israel was already invading, and they just teamed up with other enemies of Israel to, take out the rest of these, pockets and factions. And we had our priest kings, still rocking to the end, man. So all this is going down. All this is happening. It's all happening. We're going to recon the Gen dynasties and get into that a little, that's all specific, on your biblical history, right? This is all biblical history. We're all connecting this. Watch this. Just keep surfing away. Just keep surfing away. I want to see something. Thought I saw something about the Hittites on one of these. Maybe I'll get it on another link, but and it says it right here again. Temujin in the late 1190s, early 1200s. Temujin, Genghis Khan. All right, first he's Temujin, and then he becomes Genghis Khan. Right, first he's Temujin, and then he becomes a Khan. Genghis is also a title, and it also connects to the Georges and the Georgies, right? So all these Georges came after. But watch, now he soon becomes a Khan by taking the Khan, began consolidating his power in Mongolia, right? Between the death of Toril Khan, leader of the Karyots, until Temujin Mongol Empire in 1203. The Karyot leader Nilja Sengun led a small band of followers into Western Xi. However, after his adherents took to plundering the locals, Nilja Sengun was expelled from the Western Xi territory. So this has everything to do with Prester John, right? Because it's happening at the same time that they're saying he's being taken out. This has everything to do with the Khan, because Genghis Khan became Khan because of this. All right. And this is some follow-up activity, you know what I mean? You can look at it further. And I do want to recon that Tengu script. And they talk about the ogres a lot, which connect to the Picts. You know what I mean? There's a whole great book about the ogres and the Picts and the Celts and all that. So all this is connecting to the tribes, man. Let's go. See, I'll find that Hittite drop on another one of these, but this is all connecting with our history, and let's get it from right here. So we got this major invasion popping off. The Shishia, or the Minya, emerged in 1038 and eventually covered what is now the Chinese provinces, or what is now these provinces. The state often welcomed deposed Karyot leaders because of close trade connections to the steppes and because of the possibility of using the refugees as pawns in the Mongolian plateau. So then they're going to get into how, soldiers were switching sides and they got scared and they switched to Genghis Khan's side. So he actually gave them a high rank because they came from Prester John's army, and he gave them, some type of promotion in his army and all this stuff like that. Politics, man, politics. So the state welcomed deposed Karyot leaders, right? And we already know the Karyots are directly connected with Prester John. I mean, let's click on it right quick so we know what we're talking about and how this all connects to the priest king. The Karyots were one of 5 dominant Mongol, or great ones, tribal confederates, Khanates, Alta Saiyan region during the 12th century. Again, we're back in the 1100s. When was Prester John's letter written to everybody? This letter got sent in every language to every kingdom, my noggin. During the 12th century, 1165, right? They had converted to the Church of the Eastern Nestorianism in the early 11th century and were one of the possible sources for the European Prester John legend. Then you can go back into the loop and Prester John, right? They were defeated by Genghis Khan when? 1203, my nigga. When did the Shi get invaded? 1209. So Genghis Khan first defeated the Cariates. Then he took out the Shi. So this was the main, empire. This was the main point of invasion. This is Prester John's peoples. We'll get more. We're just talking the Cariates, man. We're just talking Nestorianism. So whenever they mention Nestorianism, remember in etymologies, they be taking down these links, but you can still find them if you know how to search. Etymology, Nestor. Because if I click this link, there's going to be nothing there. So I can only find it in the search box because they're destroying our breadcrumbs. All the breadcrumbs we left, they're coming by destroying all the links we left. And we know that, but it's all good because we surfing the wave and all you got to do is keep up. Let's go. Etymology, Nestor. Old king renowned for wise counsel. So when they keep talking Nestorianism and they got some other hijack Nestor that they try to connect, the king of pilots and all this stuff, but you're only talking the meaning, the etymology of Nestor is old king renowned for wise counsel. We're just talking priest king, man. So wise priest king who had the wisdom. Solomon prayed for wisdom. He's a wise king, right? Let's go. Cariates, Nestorianism, they converted to this Nestor, right? This is the old ways, right? This is that back to the Anan Ben Davids, you know what I'm saying? They're keeping the code. Old king renowned for wise counsel, Prester John, King David. Let's go back. And again, we got the Shi. What's it say right here? Following the death of the Cariates leader, Ong Kong, to Temujin's emerging Mongol Empire in 1203. Who's Ong Kong? Who's Ong Kong, my naga? I don't know where's my Ong Kong link. Cause this is just getting started. We just cracking the code, my naga. We just cracking the code, my naga. We just cracking the code. How we doing? Make sure we doing all right. Just cracking the code. That's what we're doing. Just cracking it. Keeping the code, cracking the code. Keeping the code, cracking the code. Okay, we good? But let's go. Just surf the wave, man. It's going to be a beautiful dismount. Shabbat Shalom, Baruch, Pasak to the tribe. Let's go. Ong Kong, right? After the death of Ong Kong, they say. Following the death of the Cariates leader, Ong Kong, Tagru, also known as Wang Kong. Ong Kong was the Khan of the Cariates. He was the Anda of the Mongol chief Yasugi, or the blood brother, right? And served as an important early patron and ally to Yasugi's son Temujin. So this Temujin, Genghis, later known as Genghis, is the nephew of Wang Khan. Who's Wang Khan? Come on, man. Who's Hong Kong, man? Wang Khan was the name given to Tagru by the Gurkhan Jin Dynasty. I told you we got to research these jinns, right? Just like the jinn and the dragon connection, just like the jinns breathe fire in their folklore, right? The jinns, the dragons, let's go. Wang means king. You will go a long time, my nugget, without a king. Oh, for the children of Israel will sit solitary many days without a king. But you're going to wake up, though. You're going to wake up and seek Hawa and David, your king, your Khan, with his own Khan. Hold up. Wang means king or prince. Wang Khan, Ong Khan. During the 13th century, Toggeru was one of the several Asian or Naga, nigga, Negro leaders who was identified with the legend of Prester John, but also King David. Oh, a brother to John. His Christian name may indeed be David. Born around 1130 to the Nestorian, remember, old king, renowned for wise counsel. Old king, renowned for wise counsel. Are we just talking Nestor? And this is how they try to connect it with this Greek Nestor, situation. You know what I mean? They always kind of create a duality, but we're just talking about a blessed one. A blessed one. A blessed one. Gotcha. He's a hero, right? A blessed hero. Old king, renowned for wise counsel. His Christian name may be David. So Wang Khan or Ong Khan is David. Also King David, my noggin. Who is Prester John, my noggin? Who is King David? Who were they trying to take? Who was Genghis Khan taking out in 1203? 1203. 1203. Who's the she? In fact, man, hold on, man. Let's get it from here, man. His father, Sirakas Baruch, man. Baruch Basak, man. Baruch, you already know what that means, man. So you know we're talking the Ibaru, Baruch. Toggeru had a very difficult path. The Merkits captured him during his childhood, and he was reduced to slavery. Don't that sound like, similar to a lot of these stories, man, like Daniel, different things. It is possible that he left the Merkit after being freed by ransom. Was King David ever captured when he was a kid? I remember Yosef digging on how he was ostracized by his brothers and he was like the bastard son and nobody was really messing with him, you know what I mean? Any similarities, man? According to secret history, he was again abducted at the age of 13 by the Tartars. Now this gets me thinking, which David are we talking? Because remember, we got Daniel who got abducted, by King Nebuchadnezzar or Shalmaneser or Genghis Khan. Did Daniel, who is King David's son, get abducted by Genghis Khan, Nebuchadnezzar, or the Tartars? Remember Killian? We're gonna get it. Let's go. But also took his mother. When Toggeru returned to the Chariot later, his father was near death. Toggeru took his place and commanded the Chariots around 1165. So which David are we talking about? Which David? Which David? Let's go back. Again, we're talking the Shi, right? The Shi Dynasty. Following the death of the Chariot leader Ong Kong, right? Who we just connected to King David, to Temujin's emerging Genghis Khan's empire in 1203. Okay, let's go. Genghis Khan and Tengu. This is an interesting depiction right here with this horse with wings, man. Almost look like a Dracan horse, man. They're saying it symbolized Genghis Khan, falling from his horse in battle, going into heaven. All right. We're still in discovery about Genghis Khan and Tengu. This is from the website AMGAA or GALANT, AMGALANT.com. All right. It's called Genghis Khan and Tengu. We know where Tengu is. As I prepared this post, I saw 2 January posts in Babelstone on Tengu's defectors to the Mongols. One of these, Lao Sao, was unknown to the record until we found an inscription in his honor. He seems to have been an enthusiastic defector. So these are folks that's leaving one side and going to another, leaving Prester John's army and going to Genghis Khan after the defeat. All right, so fighting early for the Mongols and fighting hard, Genghis Khan dubbed him a Bagator hero. The Stele, or Stele, tells us a very, very little about his reasons. How can it erected when his greats were alive? But his heroics at Samarkand prove he wasn't combat shy, and the Stele itself is testament to his loyalty. Once he had chosen his side, they were opportunist turncoats, but there are also other histories of loyal service from the day a person made the big decision to turn and down through a family. They didn't have to be defectors. They came to be captives, like the better known Kakan, or we may be uncertain how they came into Mongol employ. During the Jin War, Temujin's principal envoy sent to the Jin court for negotiations at least 7 times. So the Jins were on the side of the Kariots, or the Karakatai, Prester John army, or the Shi, all right, the Olmec, or the Aztec, you did. Aztec is literally, being led by Joshua or Quetzalcoatl. We could put all that together. The real Joshua, not no New Testament situation. That's a complete farce, a hijack on real characters, you know what I mean? Sent to Jin court for negotiation. So Genghis was trying to do negotiations with the Jin. All right. So he says, during the war, Temujin's principal envoy was a Tengu. So he used the Tengu to send them on to the Jin or to the Tengu. I mean, the Jin, the Tengu were rocking side by side. Jin had rejected his ambassador Jafar on Angat, resident of Samarkandi background, and unsuitable perhaps because he was a merchant. All right. So it's an interesting drop, man, if you want to, dig on specific, connection, man, with this Khatan. Let's get it from here. When Jin, Chinese capital, fell, few Mongols were present. Temujin, Genghis Khan, had dispatched one Mongol commander to join a siege force that was mainly Khatat or Khatan. So he had a whole army full of Kara Khatan. He had a whole army full of Khatan. He had a whole army full of ex-Jin. So they're showing that there is a connection between the Jin, the Khatan, right? The Tengu, all right? Thus, it is never too early to say within the service of the Khan, a collection of biographies wherein you can find a wealth of defectors stored. The enlistment of the Mongols of so many people of such diverse backgrounds in one grand common enterprise apparently has no historical precedent and should be counted as one of the main reasons for whatsoever success was achieved by the Mongols, because so many were switching over after the defeat. So this is a great little drop right here, man. Great little drop right here. I'll leave it for you. Let's go. Let's go. We're just talking Tengu. We're just talking Tengu. And before we even get this drop right here, even though this got some great Tengu drop in it, let's see. Matter of fact, man, we're just gonna go ahead and get it. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's about to get good. It's about to be a great dismount. Man. Cause we're just talking Tengu, man. We're just talking Tengu the whole time. Now remember this drop, man, called Swords of the East. Let's see if we still got that up. Yeah, okay. Let's pull that up, man. Let's pull up that Swords of the East right quick. And the way this book reads, it's like a dialogue, like a narrative, with all these characters, but they're just talking nothing but drop on this Prester John, Genghis Khan, and this Tengu. Let's get it from here. This is a book by Harold Lamb, Swords from the East. Pull up all these links. The failure of the envoys. Remember the envoys, man? Hold up, man. We met. Oh, man. Man, Shalom, man, to the tribe, man. Wow, we connecting this in real time. So we know exactly, we just belly flop, man. We know exactly what envoys we talking about, right? We know exactly what we're talking about when we talk these Tengu. Remember, oh, yeah. It says Temujin, his principal envoy that was sent to the Jin court, to the Tengu, was Tengu. So Temujin was sending Tengus or Jins or the Shi, right? He was sending the Shi, right? We're just talking, the all men called themselves the Shi, right? The Shi are the Tengu, the Western Shi are the Tengu, right? Okay. All right, we got it. So Genghis Khan's principal envoy was Shi, right? Was a Shi. Khan. His principal envoy was a Khan, right? Was a Shi. All right. Source from the East. The failure of the envoys he had sent to Prester John to return had decided Genghis Khan that war with the Karyats, Kara was unavoidable. And the master of the horde, remember horde means order, the master of the order, once his mind was made up, had moved at once towards Tengu. Oh, come on, man. So the master of the horde, which is Genghis Khan, is now moving towards Tengu, right? All right, it's now moving towards the Shi, right? It's moving right here, Tengu, India Superior. Oh man, it's getting too easy, man. Allow what? We're talking about the principal envoy, man. So the failure of the envoys he had sent to Prester John to return had decided Genghis Khan that war with the Karyats was unavoidable. And the master of the order, once his mind had been made up, had moved at once towards Tengu, following the northern edge of the sandy desert where his horses would find grazing. Genghis Khan had sent Chop Neon to the well to find Bertha and bring the gypsy girl to him. Gypsy, right? He trusts me, said the tiger moodily, although I am a Karyat. So Genghis Khan is trusting the Karyat because he's turning them over, right? He's giving them rank in his army, but it is not fitting that I should command a Tumon in the coming battle between Prester John. So that's like a, like a infantry, you know what I mean? Or like a, like a brigade, like an army brigade. All right. So it's not fair that I should command this brigade in the coming battle between Prester John and Genghis Khan. I do not understand why my people have taken up the sword. How did the messenger from the three rivers perish? What messenger? The envoy? Huh? Which one? How did Jamaica take his stand? Or why did Jamaica sound like Jamaica, right? Take his stand beside Prester John. I see a little both treachery and trickery, but if Genghis Khan is on the march, there is little time to learn the truth. Since you came nearly due south to the well, the Mongols must be as near to Tangu as we. If you are faithful to Temujin, Genghis, you should ride to Tangu at once. He's like, it's Prester John who raided our tents and who was overthrown by my horse, who wears a mask of a bear, went on Mingan calmly. And that way leads us to Prester John himself. So this is this love affair, with this girl that loved Genghis, but she's, also respecting Prester John, and she's in between this whole situation, and it's all centered around this Tangu, man. It's all centered around this Tangu, who are the she, right? The Tangu are the she, and these are the she. Yeah, I mean, these are the she, you and me. Because the remnants from the Shi Dynasty are the Ame, are the warriors from the White Land. The White Land, Managi. Because just like they said, the Shi breaks down to this whiteness, this place of whiteness, this righteousness. So, we got a lot more to dig on with the Swords of the East and the connection with the Prester John Genghis Khan War that we've just been reading took place. And, around this 1203, 1200 situation. And we're just saying, then comes this King David, but it's this new King David under Genghis Khan, right? Before, it's the real thing. It's the real thing. Interesting artwork here. Because these Mongols start getting darker, right? They starting to get darker on these images, huh? They starting to get darker, huh? Uh-oh. The weed. I'm just surfing away. I'm just surfing away. What's this right here? Even Heri, the Carriot, are thought to have traced clan ties to Tagach, Tabgatch. Royal Heri had relationships with the royal house of Tangu. It may have believed themselves distant cousins, poor cousins probably being steeped. Temujin had no such pretensions and has abolished the steep royal lineages. So Genghis abolished the royal lineages of David, right? He took the title Khan and abolished the royal lineages with more or less of hostility towards noble lines and government by clan, like the Rus, like all the clans of Israel, all the tribes. How does Tangu feel about that? The most thorough account I have to hand on Genghis Khan and Tangu is 30 pages by Ruth Dunnell, The Fall of the Z or Shia Empire, Sino-Steppe relations in the late 12th century, early 13th centuries, and the rulers from the steppe. She is at pains to point out there is more to the story than we can now retrieve, yet that absent information is important. Quote, the Tangus also faced out into Central and Inner Asia, where the extent and significance of their dealings considerable, though they must have been, remain largely unknown to us. Tangu involved in Inner Asia intensifies through the 12th century. The dilemmas she faced in dealing with Genghis Khan. Now look how they spelled it. Genghis Khan with a Q-A-N. So you can spell it with a C-A-N, a K-A-N or K-H-A-N, or a Q. All these are interchangeable. Like the Katai or Kara could also be K or Q-A-R-A. So their dealings with the Shi's dealings with Genghis Khan were shaped in part by Tengu activities in Central Asia prior to 1206. As always, it's good to know our ignorance, although we have lost the background to Genghis Khan's invasions of Tengu. At least we must keep in mind there is an unknown background. We can't slap together the obvious fragments that remain and call it a pot. Tengu was in the way. Tengu was rich. Okay. Or an explanation. Acknowledge the gap. So they're saying, look, man, you got some unknown background. Acknowledge that it's unknown. All right. Now, again, love the Aqua Tie. Get this out the drop library. Speaking of the drop library, man, I found a great link to our old library. So if you ever want to surf the wave in the previous drop library, you can click this. Let's see right here. This is the drop. Go surf the wave. You can get this by going to 432 The Drop Radio. Just click on Prester John and Legend and his sources, and you'll find it come up. You can get this drop. Now, Ty Battle personally made this PDF for us and copied all these pages for us. You know, this is a great book. Costs over $100, probably more than that now. And got all the drop on King David, Prester John, you know, throughout the 1300s, 1400s. You know, all these letters going back and forth to the Pope, to different people, man. So Ahab Aquatai, get that drop here. I had the old library up somewhere too. I think it's right. Nope, not that one. Oh, right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, man. Y'all remember this, man. I still got to get a whole new flute suite, man. I put this one up as a temporary, but I know, man, we gotta get our flute suite popping. This the old library link, and I'll leave you the link to this, man. Yeah, man. I love this old library too, man. It has a special feel to it. So, you know what I'm saying? We flowing. We in the flow. But you see, we've been doing this a while, y'all. We've been doing this a while. It's the old website, the 5 suites. And we still got to get those redone for y'all real soon. So look forward to that. We're going to be on and popping. By summertime, we fluid 1,000, man. But you see all the great drop in here. All the great drop in this library. Love to let us find the truth for the inspiration in so many of these sources as well. And, you know, we've been building brick by brick with our brothers, with our sisters for quite a while. So this is a great library, a great source. And love to type battle the record keeper. We got the newer library. You can click drop library up here. And, you know, we're just getting it all connected for you. You know what I mean? But let's go back, man. You know, we're just surfing the wave. On Khan. Okay. Yeah. Let's get on Khan drop right quick. So now that we know who Wong Khan is, we know we're talking Priest King, King David, Prester John, right? Chariot Ruler. This is from peoplepill.com. Okay. Chariot Ruler. All right. Here we go again. 1130. Death 1203. Father Kirkakus. Okay. Tagru, also known as Wong Khan or Ong Khan. Remember, priest king. Wong means king, Khan means priest. All right. King, priest, king. Was a Khan of the Karyats. He was the Anda or blood brother of the Mongol chief Yesugi and served as an important early patron and ally of Yesugi's son Temujin. So Prester John was rocking with Genghis for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Later known as Genghis Khan, you know, but remember how the story went, that Genghis Khan wanted to marry his daughter, and then some other war broke out over that and some other things. So Wang Khan was the name given to Tagru by Gurkhan Jin Dynasty of China. Remember the Jin rock with the Tangu and the Shi, right? Wang means king or prince, right? Prince forever, king forever, Wang. During the 13th century, Tagru was one of several Asian leaders who was identified with the legend of Prester John, but also King David. So This is what we got before a little bit too. His name may indeed be David. We're just talking one Khan, right? Is David. And again, this goes to some of this information background into these Kara, into the chariots, and how things came to be. Now here's this Jamaica again. Again, is Jamaica. Let's go, man. So, they got this whole confederation of the Tartars, man. Does this have anything to do with Psalms 83 Confederacy? Huh? Tagru's grandfather is Marcus Baruch Khan. Baruch. Here's this Baruch again, right? Marcus Baruch Khan is this Tagru or Onkon Wonkon's grandpapa, who also must be a David. I mean, that's a family title. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Had also been assassinated by a Tartar. So there's been war between these Cariots and these Tartars, man. It's a family war. Sound like that Moabite war, huh? Remember how they say he comes from Moab? Genghis Khan from Moab, right? I mean, that's in this book too, Prester, John, and Legend and the Sources. We're about to get some of that anyway. Love to the sister Sonia, who dropped that great flat drop, man, and gave us some great perspective. They took down our flat drop part 5, man, for a rocket launch we showed 30 seconds of. They wouldn't even let me dispute it. I'm looking for it. I think I might have it, but if anybody who downloads my videos, man, let me know if you got the, recent work shield, the USA archive work shield drop, part 5, man. I need to re-upload that drop. So let's go. But Sonia dropped that great image on us, man. And so much more drop. She's I got to catch up on the emails. My sister, I appreciate you. Let's get this for the dismount. The Chronicle of the Tsars, right? Caesars, right? This is also connected with the chronology of Anatoly Fomenko and Navatsky, the Russian chronographers putting together true chronology. All right, the Tsars or Caesars are the Khans. Let's go. And this also connects with the medieval history of the Israelite, that $1,000 book. All this recon goes together. So they're connecting the Russian horde of the 1400s through the 1600s, the Tsargrad and kingdom of the 11th through 13th centuries are crucial for practically all ancient Scalagarian history. So practically all ancient history is really popping off between the 14 and the 1600s, man, with the Russian horde or the Mongols or the Israelites being hidden under Russian horde titles and Mongol Great One titles, as well as the Tsar Kingdom. All right. Here's a list of the main phantom reflections. So, Prester John, we got to talk chronology. We got to talk orientation. We got to talk script. We got to talk Hosea 3 and 5, right? We got to talk Jeremiah 30. We got to talk these things. We got to talk the reflections and the duplications between the Russian Tsar Khans of the 1276 to 1600. Because they still looking for Prester John throughout the 16th century. They still looking for him. So did this 1200 stuff really happen around the 1600s, my nigga? Let's go. The ancient Russian history, they're saying between the 12th or the 10th and 13th century, the Habsburg Empire, Holy Roman Empire, ancient kingdom of Israel, according to the Bible, kingdom of Judah. They say this is all the same damn thing. Phantoms and reflections. I mean, you recon it, man. The Tsar Rome, we're talking the Romani. So we got the Romani. So when you see Roman, just remember we're talking Raymond. Raymond means pomegranate. In Hebrew, Raymond means pomegranate, which connects to the promised land, right? Caleb, Joshua got the pomegranates to prove they were in the promised land. The Romani means pomegranate. The Ramana, pomegranata, granada. Let's go. SARS, Rome, the Byzantine, man. Look at all the Byzantine connection. If we have time, we'll connect a little dismount on the Byzantine as well, so we know we're talking Moses, Mosach, Mashika. Let's go. Moses is a priest and king. Let's go. History of the medieval England. Okay, all this is the same damn thing. All this is Israel, my nigga. Let's go. Because what? What do we got? The biblical ancient history of the 15th to 17th century began to be written in the 17th century, and all the texts are the same story. The expansion of the Mongol horde empire, which occupies almost the whole world. The whole world was called Mexico, Mexica, Meshek. Josephus told us that, but let's go. The Mongol Empire and the legend of Genghis Khan, who becomes Prester John. Genghis Khan became Prester John. And this research is going to say they're the same people, but they became the same people. But first, Genghis had to go to war and take the title Prester John. He took the title Prester John, priest king, right? What does the Chronicle show? Written in the 18th and 19th centuries, the Mongol Empire and the Russian horde are the same project, which means the same thing. The Mongols are the Russians, the Rus. Who are the Rus? Who are the An-Rus? Again, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You think this is coincidence that we surfing away? Y'all think this is a game? Who's the Andrews, right? Who's the Rus? Who's the Russians? Who's the Rus? Found in Cathay or Cathnis. Where's Cathnis? Where's Cathay? Cateo, India Superior. Tangu. Who's the Rus? Oh, the lost tribes of Israel identity. Managa. We talking old copper color ruddy you. Old copper color ruddy me. Wisdom is the conqueror of fortune. Who's rocking with wisdom? Who's the Rus? Let's go. Because we on a warpath. Love to Sister Sonia. Let's go. So the Mongol Empire and the Rus, right? The Russians are the great ones, are the Israelites, lost tribes of Israel, right? Red thread, lost tribes of Israel. Let's go. At the moment of maximum expansion, and a decree proclaims all subjects are commanded to live in peace with one another, and the powerful are forbidden to oppress the poor. Until then, the great Khan is the only sovereign. Khan is the only sovereign. David got the keys, and the word is and his word is the will on heaven and earth. David got the keys. Hosea 3 and 5. You gonna wake up. Children of Israel will return. Seek Hawa and David, the Khan. Why, Managa? The sovereign is connected with the word. Hawa hears him. Psalms 18 comes down with smoke out of his nose and fire out of his mouth. He hears the word, the sovereign, the Khan. The chronology of this expansion corresponds to the chronological reconstruction promoted by the new chronology. King David of Israel is equated to the great Khan. And this one to Prester John of the Indies. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag for the illusion. Body, matter of fact, for this last piece right here, man, since we are making a yap out this mountain, making all these great body bags and stuff, let's get back in this little, beautiful memento. This beautiful library here, man. Let's just get it like this for the dismount, man. Let's get it like this, man. It's all good. King David of Israel is equated to the great Khan, and this one, Prester John. King David of Israel is the great Khan, Prester John of the Indies. Who moves to Ethiopia? Which one? The Mongols were descendants of the Magi from the east, and they try to make a story of, oh, that's the people that checked in on baby Jesus, or we're talking baby Joshua. Joshua that led us to the promised land, Joshua. Who was rocking with Joshua? David? Moses? Let's go. Partial conclusion, at least they admit it's partial. The Mongolian project is the same as the people of Israel, and Canaan is the whole world. Genghis Khan would be King David, but when? Because Genghis Khan became Prester John. He became King David. But you see how King David is playing. Whether you're talking Genghis or Prester, King David is just now happening. Just now got taken down. King David is Prester John. King David is Prester John Managi. Jeremiah 30, but they shall serve Hawa and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. But they shall serve Hawa and David their king, whom I will raise up for them, Managi. David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Afterwards, the children of Israel shall return, seek Hawa and David their Khan. They shall respect the Creator and his goodness in the latter days. Is David really going to come back? Is there any scripture telling us to seek anybody else but our priest king and our Creator first? We're just talking about the Khans, man. We're just talking about the Khan Dynasty, man. And it is a beautiful thing. We're talking about Tengu, Prester John, the legend and the sources. And this is some great drop if you get it from page 237, because they go into this Zaga Zabo, you know what I mean, which is connected with this Ethiopian ambassador, the Portuguese missions. Remember the Portuguese? The Portuguese got a monument to the seafarers searching for Prester John from 1145 to 1645. They looking for a black man, a black king, right? A Naga. They're looking for a Naga who popped off the whole damn search. This is the most important man in history. Because this is the one that Hawa hears, man. I mean, hey, tell me otherwise when I look at a script that tells you that you're going to seek the Creator and David. I don't know nobody else, that has a pure water connection with Hawa like Dawi, that's relevant to you and me. Obviously, we got some great ones. Let's go. Hawa. Now this goes into this Ethiopian called him Gian or Bel Gian. Right, Bel signifies the highest. That's what they call Lord, like Lord or King. John or priest. Bel will also be a priest title. And Gian, of course, right? Lord. But Friar lose out the Belshazzar, the Ethiopian. Remember Belteshazzar? Remember Daniel was called Belteshazzar? Showed that in the hill Amara in Ethiopia, sounds like Amaru, like the Amaru Khan, are ancient records, which testifies that from the time of the queen that came to Solomon, the emperors have been called Belgian. And this Gian is the same John like Prester John. Come on, man. Surfed away. The signification, wherefore, is a precious stone, Manag, or a thing of great value, which title has continued to those emperors as Pharaoh to the Egyptians, Caesar to the Romans, some also of royal blood, which are visually kept and after shall appear in the hill of Mara or Maru, when they are elected to the empire, if they be many of that imperial issue, take orders and become priests, not procreating any children. Such says he in our times have been Daniel. Here we go with Daniel. Belshazzar, right? Daniel the second. Palphanutius, that succeeded to Nahum, and Alexander, the third of his successors, man. So it says these were both priests and kings, man. Prester, John's priests and kings. So when you look into the Prester John investigation, we're looking for the priest kings. We're looking for the Daniels, the Davids, the Joshuas, the Moseses, you dig? Priest kings. And therefore by the Ethiopians which resort to the holy scepter at Jerusalem. And used to speak Greek, who were called priest Belgian. This by corruption of the name by merchants. Corruption of the name by merchants, and such as knew not the signification, and also for the Brute's sake was pronounced Prester Gian or Yan. Now for the Prester Gian in Asia, he tells that when St. Thomas was martyred in India, the three magi who visited the anointed one, which one is that? By the leading of the star in his infancy had been, remember the star had this, it wasn't just a star, it was a dragon, it was a shooting star. So this dragon appeared when Joshua or Quetzalcoatl was born, just like Tekumesh or Tekum say. Love to the Hakan, man. Hey, ha to the bro, man. We love you, brother. Let's go. And had been consecrated bishops over the several kingdoms. By the apostles, choose one among themselves to be priest and king. Call him Prester John. Okay, let's go. Ty Battle got the drop, man. Ty Battle got the drop. Because it's going to bring up the Scaliger history again. All right. Sir John Mandeville, you can get all this drop. I want to get it from here. Out the letter from Peter Heylyn, Heylyn, Cosmography. I'm going to get right into it. Because again, we're talking about the Portuguese, right? Origin of the title, Prester John, concluding he was originally an Asian monarch, right? A Mongol, right? Using linguistic examples to argue that a simple misunderstanding could have led the Portuguese to believe that the Ethiopian leader was Prester John. Again, we're talking about the Portuguese who's looking for him up into the 1645, man. How recent is this that they're looking for Prester John? This is way after Columbus came over here. This is way after this history that you're getting. They're still looking for the Cariats, the Shi, the Olmecs. They just pulling up these heads, but they might have only been buried for a couple 100 years, my naga. Like, this is recent history. All this is recent history. Let's go from here. Those are the most note in Tanduk, right? So then they start saying Tanduk. And I asked Ty Battle, she kept hitting us with this Tanduk. And I said, oh man, you keep saying that. And it seems to be the same thing as this Tangu. So we back to Tangu. Those of most note in Tanduk itself, Koras or Karas, Koreism, all right, the Kara means black. The ordinary scepter of the kings of Tanduk before it was subdued by the Tartars, and since that also Kara Korim, where Genghis was first honored with the title king. The kings hereof bearing the port of the kings and the office of priests were anciently called by the name Prester Johannes or Prester John, a title now erroneously conferred by some of the emperors of Abyssinians or Ethiopians in Africa. Erroneously. They're erroneously taking the title Prester John, just like today. I mean, you got Those in so-called Africa over there, saying, oh, well, this is the priest king over here. This is, uh, you know, the Selassie through yada yada, but that's a different Ethiopia. That's a hijack. When it comes to the real Ethiopia, it's right here. So the real descendants of Solomon and Prester John are the niggas in the hood right here. Considering which it is a wonder that Joseph Scaliger, a man of such infinite reading, should be so deceived by the authority of his judgment, deceived so many. This is who made the timeline. He deceived so many for finding that there was a Prester John in the north of Asia and hearing vulgarly that the title given to him in Africa. He fell upon the fancy that this Abyssinian empire was formerly of so great power and to extend his empire over India, north of Asia, and at last, for the assurance of his conquest, to hold the residence, a monstrous and undefensible fancy. Again, we're talking a sect of Nestorianism, right? Old king, renowned for great counsel. We're talking about the old kings of Cathay. The old kings of Kansas. Down here it says Tanduk is actually Tangu. Tanduk is actually Tangu. The same Tangu in the swords of the east. Prester John and Genghis Khan. Alright. The same Tangu. Genghis Khan is moving towards Tangu. Is what we're bringing up in a whole nother manuscript. A whole nother drop. That this Tanduk, the province of Tanduk, we are to know the formally that this province of Tanduk or Tangu was under the old kings of Cathay. Where's Cathay? Right here, North America. Where's India Superior? Right here, North America. Where's Tangu? Right here. Where's China? Right here, Mexico. All this. Where's Prester John? Right here, North America, India Superior, according to the British Museum in 1530, that is. Allow why? Oh man, there's so much more I wanted to connect this time around, man. And, this is what we do it for, man. Another great drop by Ty Battle, The Races of Men. The Races of Men, right? Page 167. Offer the credulous for the peopling of America. So they think they're trying to get to the drop of who and how you got here. Always accepting that the standby of the thoroughbred theorists, namely the copper Indians, the true Americans, were the lost tribes of Israel who fled there on rafts, I suppose headed by Prester John. This is out the Races of Men, talking about the copper Indians, rocking with Priest King El Pretuan, or King David of Israel is the great Khan, or Prester John of the India Superior, India Superior, Prester John. Lost tribes of Israel. Every time, we come to this, we start to see clearer and clearer who the copper Indians, rocking with the priest king, rocking with King David, who the copper Indians, lost tribes of Israel, rocking with the priest king, King David. But they shall serve a while their power and David the king, whom I will raise up. Hey man, this is only Prester John 52. We're going to come in hot. And I really, man, wanted to touch on, some great drop that we dug on before, man. With the Mesheks, right? The Mazakas, the Mosaks, connecting with the Cossacks. connecting with the Kasari, right? Who are the Khazars? Who's the real Khazar, man? Because we like to call other people Khazars, but who's the real Kasari or Khazaria? Huh? Kasari was originally called Mazaka. Mazaka, my naga. Mazaka is Mosak or Moses. Masaka is Moses. Who's the Messex, and how did Josephus hide this term? Meshex, right there in our face. Meshach. You got all this drop. I leave for you the works of Josephus. I believe it came in book. Was it book 1 or book 2? And you know what? It might be book 1, chapter 6. Oh yeah. So Josephus is talking about, all the nations and their lineage, right? For Gomer founded those whom the Greeks now call the Galatians. The Gauls came from Gomer, but where there became Gomerites, Magog founded those that were from him called the Magogites, but who are then by the Greeks called the Scythians. But now as to Javan and Madai, the sons of Japheth, from the Madai came the Medians and are called the Medes. And by the Greeks, from the Javan, Jonia, and all the Grecians are derived. Tobal founded the Thobalites, which are now called the Iberis, and the Masakini were founded by the Mosak. Now they're the Cappadocians. Now he just kind of threw this in here. The Meshachini were founded by the Mosak, but who's the Meshachini? Now the Cappadocians, there is a mark, my naga. Remember the Tau, right? Remember the Tau, right? Remember the Tau, right? For the dismount, let's go. There is a mark, a Tau, of their ancient denomination still to be showed, for there is even now among them a city called Mazaka, which may inform those that are able to understand. He's playing with us, right? He's saying if you got the drop, you got the drop. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like he's hiding, but he wants us to find out. He wants us to understand that there's a city called Mazaka, which may inform those that are able to understand that so the entire nation was once called. Then he goes into Thyris, formed the Thracians, and all this regular stuff. But he went deep. He went deep with this one. For those that are able to understand that Mazaka, the entire nation was once called Mazaka or Meshika, founded by Mosak, Moses, Mosak, Moses, Mosak. Moses, the whole turf was named after Moses, man. Mazaka, Meshika, Mexico, Mosak, Managa. Mosak, Managa. Yeah, man. So that got us thinking about the Khazari. The Khazarians, originally called Mazaka or Masaka. Who's the Khazari? Who's the Khazari, man? You know what I'm saying? This is the ancient Byzantine. Remember, the Byzantine Empire was taken out in 1453, 1 year after the Papal Bull, right? 1452. They took out the Byzantine first. Why? Because this is the Mazaka. This is connecting with Mosak, the founder, the kings of Cappadocia. Let's get it from here, man, for the dismount. So this great length, they's talking about the lineage of Japheth, but I think that's an error. I think the Meshechs are a different tribe. I think we're talking about the tribes of Moses, that they're just throwing them into Japheth. But Josephus said, for those that are able to understand, there is a mark on their ancient denomination. If you can understand what I'm saying, if you get the drift, the whole nation was once called Mazaka, the entire nation. What does it mean? What does it mean? That you have this Mazaka, and look how they connected it. Most of modern Russia, parts of modern Georgia, and the Caucasus region, Huns, ancient Mazaka, Mosak, Moshi, Moski, Muscovy, Cappadocia, all this is Moses. Moscow, Moscow reflects his old name, possibly migration as far as South America. Mashika Manaka. They came right back home to South America. Possibly the Moshe and cultures in South America and the now dead Mashika languages, which just went extinct about 100 years ago. We're talking the Rus again. The Rus, right? Remember, there's a mark. There's an ancient mark on their denomination, a Tau, because in Hebrew, the Tau is the mark. Huh? We're getting a beautiful dismount, y'all. Y'all good? Everybody good out there? Allahu Wa, Allahu Wa, Allahu Wa. Let's get it. We're talking the ancient mark. Oh, man, they playing. Let me see. Oh, they trying to play with our Hebrew charts? Ooh-wee, this is getting dirty. This is getting dirty. This is getting dirty. They trying to play with the Hebrew charts, homie. All right, come on, man. I'm going to paleo. We're going to pull it up. We're going to get it like this. So we're talking about a mark on an ancient denomination. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Get off that play. We're talking about the tau, the mark, the sign, the tau. Oh, man, they are on this play today. They're hiding my favorite Hebrew charts, but it's okay. You know what? We got it all over the place here. We got it all over the place. Nah, man. All right, fine, man. What's this one? See, I don't like when they like to play with our Hebrew charts or any of our drive, man. That's, I mean, you already know what the tau is. You already know what that is. But still, man, they over there on this play, for real. Acting like they had to drop on the chart. It's like they really took down our favorite chart. Okay, wait. Here we go. This is the one I like. Okay, we back, man. Let's get it for the dismount. Oh, man, we on a warpath, man. I need to get back on the warpath. We on a warpath. Let's go. So what do you see down here? You see the tau. It says mark, sign, signal, tau, right? That's the Wakanda Forever cross, right? The cross sticks, the tau. And what's my man Josephus kicking? That there is a mark on their ancient denomination, right? And we know that we're rocking that tau. We're rocking that mark. So what's going on with these Meshechs? All right, so in the Tower of Babel, they got these Meshechs connected with this Moshika. We're talking Mexico again. Interesting, right? Because when we talk Moses, the founder, man, and this is the dismount, man, right here. Dismounts of dismounts, man. You're talking the founders of the Cappadocians. This is out of a document called Becoming Christian, the Conversion of Roman Cappadocia. And we're getting the Dropout by Raymond Van Dam. All right. For the beautiful dismount, man, let's go. Early 15th century, a Cappadocian scholar wrote an extensive ecclesiastical history that surveyed the developments of the previous century in his homeland. Philostrosius had grown up in the shadows of the great Cappadocian fathers. So the OGs, we're talking the ancient Israelites, despite their prominence, Philostrosius did not embrace their version of Orthodox theology. Instead, he and his family accepted the doctrines of Eunomius, another Cappadocian theologian who Basil and Gregory of Nice would personally discredit and vilify, nor did Philostratus remain in Cappadocia since eventually he moved to Constantinople. So you got a whole schism breaking off. Now let's go. In his ecclesiastical history, Philostratus was hence both economical and local. He included many tidbits of odd information about biblical events in the Roman Empire, and he was interested in legends about Cappadocia. When he mentioned Mazaka, all right, Mashika, let's go, the original name for the city that eventually became Khazaria, he noted that this name was derived from Mosak, the founder of the Cappadocians. Now, you don't think this is Moses? Let's go. Mosak's name suggests some sort of Shemitic derivation. Body bag, Daniel. So we have a Shemite founding, this whole area that gets attacked in 1453, the heart of the Byzantium. This was the target, right? The Cappadocians or the Mashika. And his reputation as the founder of the Cappadocians seems to hint at a foundational legend for the region that was older than the adoption of Greek myth. It's older than the hijack, though. It's older than the hijack, my naga. It's older than the hijack. So this is the founder, Mosak, the founder, Moses, the founder, is the foundational legend that's older than all Greek Atlantean hijack. In the early Roman Empire, people outside Cappadocia had heard of Mosak too. The Jewish historian Josephus, we just got that, eventually tried to fit him into biblical geography. For the dismount, my naga, let's go. Didn't I just break down that how in the world did he squeeze in? I know this is small. How did he squeeze in Meshachini? You know what I mean? He went from Thobo was founded by the Thobalites, which is the Iberis, and now the Meshachini, Mosak, you see Mosak, Eni, were founded by Mosak, now the Cappadocians. There's a mark on their ancient denomination still to be showed, so we're still going to find out in the future, right? For there is even among them a city called Mazaka, which may inform those that are able to understand that so was the entire nation once called. And what did they just say? That the Jewish historian Josephus even tried to fit him into biblical genealogies by equating him with Meshach, one of the grandsons of Noah. So is this Moses one of the grandsons of Noah? I mean, we're just starting from the way. It's getting real interesting around here. Who are these Meshachs? Who's Mosak, the founder? It says, although Mosak, is an intriguing primal ancestor. Come on, man. Primal ancestor, like primal magic, like magi. He unfortunately remains completely obscure. Philostratus, in fact, knew so little about the legend of Moses that he could not match up the consonants and vowels in order to make sense of the postulated link between the city's name of Mazaka and Mosak's name. So he shrugged and invented a makeshift phonetic transfer. He invented a makeshift phonetic transfer. Quote, after the passage of time, the city was called Mazaka through a swerving. In the later Roman Empire, all that survived, man. Listen up for the dismount, my naga. This is Prester John 52. Allow Hawaii. We on the warpath, my naga. We on the warpath, my naga. Let's go. Let's go. So Philostratus invented a makeshift phonetic transfer. Phonetics, he's playing with the words, right? The sounds after the passage of the name, after the passage of time. The city was called Mazaka instead of Moses or Mosak through a quote unquote swerving. We got swerved. Excellent new tune. Hijack City. So they just changed it just so you don't connect it with Moses, the primal ancestor who remains obscure. And now what? All that survived of Moses' foundational legend, all that survived of the priest king, because we keep saying, is David Moses? But we got a lot more to dig on that. In the later Roman Empire, all that survived of whatever legends there may have been about Mossack were his name, his reputation, and his enigmatic connection with the name of a city. The myth of Mossack, the founder, Moses, was a lost memory. Didn't Genghis Khan erase all of your royal lineage, right? A fragment of an abandoned past, a casualty of the adoption of Greek mythology, the imposition of Roman rule, or the expansion of Christianity. But some of our brothers are still calling on Christ. We're on a warpath. In a society that defined itself in terms of Greekness, Romanness, or Christianity, Moses, Mossack, the founder, had become meaningless. But not no more, because we searching for the priest king. Because we have returned, Managa, and we are seeking our creator, Managa, and the priest king. The priest king, whom I will raise up for them. Allah, Allah, Shalom to the tribe, the water for surfing the wave. I'll see y'all in the next installment of this wonderful series, man, that's, coming to a conclusion, but will always remain forever. Will always remain forever. Because we got one shepherd forever. And our creator is sparking us off right now. So y'all keep focused. Let's have a good time. Let's rejoice and know that our time is now. And the return is now. Because you will, Managa, they shall serve Hawa and David, their king, whom I will raise up for them. One shepherd, David, their king, Hawa, in the latter days. All praise our creator, our framer, our shaper. I'll see y'all on Prester John, number 53. Allah, Shalom, Baruch Pasah.